and to significantly strengthen our gun and bail acts, to close every loophole. Thereafter, if you're found with an illegal firearm or ammunition, you should go to jail for a minimum of 5 years. If you use an illegal firearm, thereafter, to hurt somebody, to rob somebody, or God forbid, to kill somebody, you should wait in jail till the trial date of your case. When we significantly or repeal, therefore, in 2011, the Firearms Act, the intentions of parliamentarians was clear. The penalties were significantly increased, but it is clear that the manner in which the laws as it relates to gun crimes have been applied, the intention of the legislature is not being realized. In that regard, your government has retained the services of former Attorney General Anthony Laron, a renowned legal draft person, to look at the relevant laws in this country, inclusive of the Firearms Act and the Bail Act, as we speak, that is being done, to ensure that the law has sanctioned that when you're caught thereafter, the spirit that we have just announced, that the law must have sanctioned and the sentence was relevant to the crime that you have committed. Further to what I've just said, as well from the Chief of Police, for the instrumentality of the
okay, ladies and gentlemen, Black Pepper, what is it?
767.
I just listened
a community public
to Honorable Blackmore,
community public
National Security Minister. You know, I'm a big fan of security, so Blackmore is making moves to curb the gun violence on the island, which is of concern nationally as we speak. Murders, guns. Murder is the end result of brandishing or using the firearm, but there have been multiple. You cannot count the amount of incidents where shots were fired and people were hurt or target was not hit. The use of the firearm. How many events and complaints do you have for use of firearm? You have to say that too, so people we can understand at exactly what magnitude guns are present in the environment. So what that does, the intelligence of the quantity of activities affiliated to guns will determine how proactive and alert the society can be. It is very important not just to mention 12 murders or 14 murders and to say you have solved 7 of these murders. People were arrested and charged due to gun violence. That still is not the conclusion. You can arrest and charge anybody on suspicion. What you need to be very, very, very careful and efficient with is your investigation ethics and practices to get to a conviction is where satisfaction lies. Because an arrest and a charge also puts the same perpetrator back on the road on bail. So it is not a success story to be mentioning. The success story ends when you have a conviction, Mr. Blackmore. Okay? So just on a point of correction, while we accept the information you gave, but the more critical point of the information has to do with conviction, meaning an extraction of a perpetrator, a criminal, out of society is what gives people hope that their environment is safe. An arrest and a charge doesn't do that, because people come out on bail, and as such there are tactical strategies through the lawyer on the defense and also the prosecution. There are witnesses from the police investigating that are exposed in court, and the defense uses those flaws to get strategical bail, and in most cases the case gets thrown out. So while you're being very aggressive in pursuits, search, seizures, your most aggressive nature must be, at that point in time, you have exhausted your resources to do that. One can only get confidence in continuing their work as a policeman without favor, with integrity, and all what a characteristic of a good police should hold. They will be motivated based on convictions, not arrest and the guy back out on the road tomorrow, in 1 month, in 6 months, based on technicality. So as usual, when come for security, I like to give advice. And one of the advice I would dare to give you, Mr. Blackmore, there must be a more aggressive approach to investigations. From the moment police is called on a scene, you have to have assigned state lawyers to guide the investigation and securing the crime scene with critical evidence. We are seeing all these events play off in Dominica. It's no rocket science that the investigation ethics and the crime scenes in Dominica are severely contaminated, and not the police response time is very, very slow, which gives time, additional time, to contaminate an investigation. What do I mean? Shells are being picked up, bodies are being moved. You cannot do biometrics or what they call it, ballistics, as to where shot fire, where, what, range, this, that, what caliber might have done that bullet, that damage. You never get the weapon on the scene. If one of the holders of the firearm have dropped, somebody will take the weapon and go. You understand? There are very critical elements that you all have to put all the resources on as possible in order, like I said previously, to build a case beyond reasonable doubt. I say beyond reasonable doubt because at the end of the day, a murder case that goes to the High Court, guilt is determined by 9 or 11 normal citizens of Dominica who has to be convinced beyond reasonable doubt that this person committed the offense. So with all what you want to do, your primary focus in your investigation ethics is to, by any means necessary, to eradicate doubt in someone's mind when your prosecutor presents the evidence and his case as tight and solid as possible for a jury to be satisfied that the person in question is guilty of the offense. That is where the ball drops. And that is your main concentration. Why do I say it's your main concentration? Because in a criminal's mind, this is the finale is always becomes the most critical fear factor. It is the most critical fear factor because criminals look at the outcome of the system for their actions and their breaching of the law to determine whether or not they can stand with their criminality or whether or not they should give it up because they don't want to fall victim within the court system and the laws and the penalties attached to it. That is what is in the background of a criminal mind. In any event you are responding to anything, you also have to press yourself into criminal-minded mode. For you to press yourself in a mind as a criminal to see what you would want for yourself, what would motivate you in that capacity. And then you have to take that out of yourself and conceptualize that, the defense around that, the conviction mechanism around that, the investigative mechanism around that to counter the process. That is what bright people do. So while you come halfway with what you said, I have no issues with what you said, but there are some critical added value points you missed out on. Number 2, the amnesty, you must understand the reasons for criminality on the island simultaneous with responding to crimes. Lack of employment, inflation, poverty, morality throughout the home. While you're trying to extract guns from the street, it is very critical that you understand you're dealing with human beings too. Human beings who have a choice again. Human beings who could be mentally motivated to go back the same place which they surrendered from last month. It doesn't take much to burst the pipe, Mr. Blackmore. That's the reality. So simultaneous to you responding to crime and you strategizing of how we're going to go about curbing the gun violence, you have to also tie in the other Ministry of Social and Economical, Ministry of Finance. Right there. It has to be parallel with eradication. What is the subsidiary support system for a man not to go down that road is very critical, Mr. Blackmore. So let's not exempt the other ministries from their responsibility. Let's not exempt you as part of governance for creating policies and creating a thriving economy for people not to go down the road of criminality. Let's not exempt ourselves from that. Don't be ignorant of the fact that you are the Minister of National Security. Also remember, you are part of the policy-making body of the government of Dominica through votes and the yeas and the nays. So your work goes beyond security from a preventative perspective. Don't you ever mix up things, my brother. And that is where governance will talk as to who worth their salt in governance. How wronged are these people? Everything is linked. Everything is linked. So with that being said, if the environment is not conducive for a criminal to have options out or away from criminality, he's going to stay in the same bed. Now, it's a I hungry issue. It's a I need food on my table issue. It's a issue where guys rob to get just the money and the food on the table. You're asking them to turn in the mechanism that allows them to do it for no compensation, for no subsidiary financial support. Don't take a gun and go and rob. Give me the gun. Let me give you some subsidiary type of revenue to hold you up still, while the rest of the system is at work to do with the pockets where criminality thrive, to run programs for employment, for social well-being in the same areas. Everything has to be in sync. But you want a man to don't have hope on job, don't have hope of not getting at least of $1,500 or $2,000 now, give up is only way of hope to you for nothing. It doesn't happen so soon. In the United States of America, they run amnesty programs. They pay you to bring your gun in because they understand at the bottom line, you might have paid for the gun. At least if you get some compensation, it's all good. Because at the end of the day, if somebody really decide they finish with crime, but you know what? I think I'm just going to make a turn SM by my little chick over there and see if I get a little horse or construction, something to do SM. I don't need visa to go there. I can go there and do a little 6 months, come down Dominica for 2, go back up, do a 6, and I'll see how it go from there. The man is not going to bring that gun and don't know how he buying the ticket to go to St. Martin to do just that. You know what he's going to do? He's going to sell the gun for a next citizen who is not prepared or wants to enroll in criminality to alleviate his hardship in life. That's the fact. If you don't want to pay for it, another wannabe will pay for it. And that's the fact of the matter. So my advice to you guys would be to give some type of compensation which will encourage them to bring it in for just what they want, money. The root of all evil, as they always say, is money. And if you don't know how to subsidize, then you're not ready to talk business in the hood, sir. Straight up. You will not get one gun unless you pass it. And you know the culture in Dominica. There's $7 billion in one person control. Them niggas know you guys got money. I understood some guys got paid for some incident to do with a particular person, family member, to hush on the block. You can get money to protect all the personal interests, and you cannot get money to pass to the same set of fellas to protect state and national interests. So you see the ignorance? They know that. I didn't get the $500. I didn't get the $500 for that event. They get it. They talking. They have the guns, not me. I have a licensed firearm. Don't worry about that. They are the ones that are on the block. They don't have job. Their choices are limited. What they do, is it right? No. Can it be justified? In a sort of a way, ignorantly. Give people options. Create options for people. It is your responsibility as a member in parliament, in government. You are challenged with the outcome of the lack of policies to do with a thriving economy. It's on your doorstep as Minister of Security. So you should be more passionate about lightening your work just by going inside and say, hey, we need to get guys off the streets. We need to put them niggas to work. At least 8 hours in the day. I gave you all the maths about 8 hours in the day is 1/4 of the day, and that is a crime reduction time frame. If you were to put it in percentage perspective, it is 33.3333%. Right there, for a systematic way of re-engaging the time of who could be a criminal. That's how you reduce crime. You get them out of criminal intended environments called the block. Real talk. So, think big, go hard, or go home. Now, there is something else you said that kind of troubled me. I want to understand it, but it kind of troubled me. You said, within 1 month, you're allowing 1 month for the amnesty. And then following 1 month of that, you're going to go to Parliament and pass some drastic penalties, such as 5 years. You announced it, though it hasn't been tabled, but 5 years is a significant threat that anybody will say, boy, I don't want to go to jail. So you have to be very careful of how you made that statement, and I will tell you why. It sort of tells somebody, hurry up, do all your shit within that month before it get to 5 years. The 5 years legislation penalty for being caught with a firearm should be starting simultaneous with the same time they tell you to bring it in for free. If you're caught with it without the intention of walking into the police station, then you're in possession of an illegal firearm. It could be your last run you're going to make. You have to send a loud, clear message instantly. Because the perpetrators are operating instantly as I speak. You don't suspend penalties, sir. You're giving people a little threshold to continue until such time. Never negotiate with a criminal. That's a negotiation. Never negotiate as the government. Criminality is criminality. There's one way, and one way only, sir. As the Minister of National Security, you have to stand your ground and mention the word zero tolerance. Means you're not willing to compromise when caught illegally, as of now. The House should meet next week to pass that. You all have the capabilities of meeting in days. You all have done it for political interest already. That is not of interest to you. Lives being lost is more significant interest. Because we are the purpose why you govern. Every day, it could have a robbery now and 2 people get shot. 2 cashiers could get shot and die as I speak. Man making their last run. So you must be very careful how you say certain things. I understand you and what you want to say. But it was promoted in the wrong way. You have to be very careful. The average street man is not there to sit down, to analyze you word for word, and then to put things in perspective and understand what you intend to say. They run by what you just say. That's it. They're not going to fall back and try to use words and interpret, and they don't have time for that. Mr. say, boy, in 1 month, them man can pass law, father. Boy, you mad myself. I going all out for that 40 days. That's it. No long story. In 1 month, them man going to pass law for 5 years. They say to bring in gun now. I'll bring my gun on the 29th day. After I do all my racket. So guess what? When they want to come and hold me later, there's no evidence. There's no evidence. I have no weapon. My crime well done, seal, and the weapon is of no use. It cannot be tendered in as evidence because it has been given to you all on a different circumstance. You cannot retract and address it or affiliate it to a previous crime. So you're setting up your stage for a lot of loopholes within trying to get a perpetrator to justice. You don't realize that? You have to be careful. Everything has to be simultaneous. So I would have a retract. I would try to go to the house as soon as possible. And it is still the magistrate's judgment. It doesn't necessarily have to take a law to create the conviction. The conviction sets precedence based on irrefutable doubt of a crime has been committed by that guy. So that don't have to take 30 days for you all to be efficient. You all are trained. You all need to mobilize the right people and put your training into effect immediately. Create beyond reasonable doubt. Eliminate that. Conviction, seasoned environment, work ethics, investigation techniques and ethics, and go hard. Straight up. You have to go hard one time. Don't promote and intend to in 30 days. You're looking for 30 days, especially leading up to the Independence Day. You're looking for 30 days of disaster. Remember, I tell you that. 767 black pepper.